Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Mark, a trainer here at WEX Field Service Management, and today we are covering Pricebook Advanced. This webinar will cover some Pricebook options, how to set up a price book, or how to use a price book if you don't have a price book already in your system. You can build as you go using the QuickBooks item list, creating flat rate products as bundles, looking at our Profit Rhino flat rate subscription, Pricebook Digital, updating pricing strategies, invoice options, and job form settings. We'll do a live Q&A at the end where you can get your questions answered live on stream. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into WEX FSM. When you first log into your system, you will be on the schedule page. And I just want to run through some scenarios, some options that you have for using the price book in your system. One option is that you can build a price book as you go. So traditionally, you can build a price book by going to More Applications, Price Book, build out your categories, build out your pricing defaults, your warranties, and then you can go into My Price Book. You can add products from here and basically pre-build your price book. And then these are the items that are available on your proposals and invoices when you access the price book. But that takes time. And you can just add items from your proposals and invoices as you are creating them. And those will add to your price book so they're available next time. Let's take a look at a job. So right now, I'm on this job for my customer, Justin Hernandez. It's a service call. And we're going to scroll down, and I have created an invoice for this job. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that invoice. And we'll click Add Item to add items from our price book. Now, if you already have items in here, that's great. But let's say that there's an item that you don't have and you want to add it to your price book. You can do that from here, but you have to go to the price book folders section and scroll all the way to the bottom. So any folders that you've made, you'll see here. And then when you get to the bottom, you will see new product. Click on new product. And now this is the same modal that you would see when you are creating it from the My Price Book page. And that's just pulled in here. So you can actually write on the invoice, select what you want. Let's say we want to create a new part, add in all the information here, and then click save. Once you do, that will add it to the price book so you can use it next time, and it will add it to your proposal or invoice. If you don't have a price book yet and you are just starting, this can be a great way to get up and running. Your field technicians can, start creating invoices in the field. They can add items as they need, and you from the office, you can add items as well, right from here. Price book folders, new product. Now that is different from using a custom line item. For custom line items, you will tap Add Custom Line Item. Maybe there's an item that you know is not in your price book, but you want to add it just for today. You don't need it in the future. You don't want to add this and kind of muddle up your current categories that you have, but we need just something extra for today. You can click Add Custom Line Item. Now, first, adding a custom item, they're going to ask to search your current database. Do you already have this item? Random item 1, 2, 3, 4, we don't have. So you see, we do have a couple things in here, but not exactly what I need. So I will click Create Custom Line Item as entered. Now we're making an item. You can add the name, the description, the unit price, quantity. Let's say this is a $100 item. We want one of them. And very important, if you're syncing to QuickBooks, make sure that you are selecting what income account you want the revenue for this item to sync to. Do you charge tax on this item or not? Yes or no? And then click Add. This now has added an item to this particular invoice, but has not added this item to my price book. So two options there: add item, price book folders, new product will add this item to the price book. Custom line item will not. And so now let's take a look at another option you can use, which is your QuickBooks item list. The QuickBooks item list is found right here by clicking Add Item. And it's the third option over from your QuickBooks item list. If you're syncing to QuickBooks, you'll see the item list here. And this will be a one-to-one copy of whatever is in your QuickBooks item list. Once that syncs, you will see those items here. Something to know about the QuickBooks item list is that it is a one-way sync item. Or I'm so sorry, it's a two-way sync item, two-way sync. That means that you can update that in QuickBooks and it will sync up to WEX FSM, which is different than your customers' invoices, payments, your one-way sync items. Now, the benefit of the QuickBooks item list is that you already have it built out, most likely. You already have items. Maybe that's what you've been using for years, and it's right here. I would say benefit that the WEX FSM Pricebook has over the QuickBooks item list is you can put the My Pricebook items into folders. So if you want folder organization like this, you'll want to build out your price book in the system. If you don't mind, you can always just use your item list, but you will have to type in what you want. There's no folder organization with the QuickBooks item list. Now, if you wanted to bring in items from your QuickBooks item list and pull them into your WEX FSM price book, you can do that and save yourself some time. So to do this, oh, let's refresh. You can go to More Applications, Price Book, My Price Book. And then when you're adding products, let's say I know there's a part in my QuickBooks item list that I would like to pull in and add to my WEX FSM price book. Click Add Product. Let's say it's a part. And then I'm going to search for a very specific item that I know is in my QuickBooks item list. And it says right here, search for existing part. Paste. And then if you look all the way to the right, you'll see the source. Where is this item coming from? And here's the one that I want. This is a fan motor in my QuickBooks item list. If I select that, it will take all the info from that item list item and pull it in and pre-populate all of these fields. Now I can start coming in, adding where I want this to be saved, what income account I want it, update description, and then, what folder do I want to save this into? And when you're done, click Save. And now you will have that same exact part in your WEX FSM price book, which you can organize and put into folders. So that is an option for you. The nice thing about doing it this way is it's not going to create a duplicate. If you were to just create this from scratch, it would create the item and then sync that item to your QuickBooks item list. And then essentially you would have a duplicate. So by pulling it in this way, you avoid having duplicates. All right. Next, let's look at how to create a flat rate item using bundles. Same page, we're going to click Add Product. And for this, we're going to select product bundle multi-item group. From here, you will be able to select your parts, select your labor, and create a bundle. So I can type the part that I want. Let's say I need a general part. I can see these are all from my price book. A key note, a thing to understand is that you do have to have individual items first in order for you to create a bundle. You can't just create a bundle with its own items. You would need to have individual items first, and you pull those in to create the bundle. If there's an item that you don't already have, then you can click Add New Part to create a single item that will add to the main price book, and then you can pull that in to your bundle. So for this, let's go ahead and just select a couple of these parts. When we're ready, we'll click on Labor Service to add our labor. And now we have our parts and our labor. We want to put those together. We'll click Create Product Bundle. And now I'm creating a bundle. The nice part about this is your customer will see, this is a service, and then they'll see the price. They'll see the description. We did this thing. And then for you on the back end, you'll be able to see all the separate individual components that make up this pricing. So if there's a scenario, maybe you don't even necessarily need a flat rate item, but you can pull in different parts. You can add labor and create a bundle in which they will only see the product name, the description, and the single price. But you will see all the separate items, each having their own income account that they can sync to. On the additional details page, you can make each item an inventory part if you would like. You can also serialize parts. If you turn on serialize, this will allow a field for a serial number. So let's say that you are selling a system. You can also use bundles to put all the different components of a system together and sell the system as a bundle. Maybe there are some parts within that system you want to serialize. That way you can always have the serial number documented on those when you sell them. Once you add the bundle, it will just be saved wherever you save your whatever category and folder you decide, and then you will see those here. All right. So now let's shift gears just a little bit. Everything we have talked about is part of your normal subscription, but since today is an advanced course, let's dive a little deeper into some of the other subscription options that you have. So we're going to go to Settings, Subscriptions. When you get to the subscriptions page, it will start you on My Plan. Just click on Add-ons. And then we have many different add-ons that you can add in addition to your current subscription. And in terms of price book, we have two main ones. There's the Profit Rhino flat rate price book, and then we also have something that is called Enhanced Price Books by Pricebook Digital. So with Profit Rhino, which is a flat rate price book, this can save you time. If you want, you can fully build out a price book in your WEX FSM system, and that's great. But it does take time. You need to know the name, the description, the model number, the serial number, the cost. There's a lot of info that you need to know for each item. And if you want pictures, you would have to find the picture that you want, upload that to have pictures in the system. With Profit Rhino, all of those things just come naturally. You will get a fully integrated price book that the pricing from that is pulled from your region. The costs you are able to edit yourself for anything that doesn't match up exactly with how much you pay with your local supplier. And the prices are updated frequently. So anytime there is a massive change in pricing, those get updated, and then those will be updated automatically in your system. If you are interested in this, if you, so this account already has it, but if you didn't, you would see a red plus button. You would click on that. That would allow you to then add Profit Rhino to your current subscription. And then you will see that loaded in your system. You'll be able to go to more applications, price book, flat rate price book, and have an entire price book with there's multiple industries. So if you're just HVAC, then you'll probably just select the general and HVAC price books. But if you also do electrical or plumbing, or I believe drain cleaning is another option, you can add those. And each price book will have its own set of folders, information. You can click into the folders to see all of the items. These items are all preset with a residential and commercial price. You can edit the details if you want. You can add them to favorites so you find them easier when you're searching. And if there's any items that you know you just don't use at all, you can hide them with the eyeball to get them out of the way. That way, your technicians are just looking at the items you know you want to use. And then the other option that we have for Pricebook is called Pricebook Digital, and more specifically, Enhanced Pricebooks powered by Pricebook Digital. Now, this is a new feature that we have. I don't believe that is an option quite yet in the subscriptions page. But if you are interested in this, you can search in the Help Center, go to Help, and you can search Enhanced Pricebook. And you'll want to go to this article, Enhanced Pricebooks Powered by Pricebook Digital. Just a pro tip, you can always see the article in this little pop-up here, but me personally, I like to read these articles full screen. So you can scroll to the very bottom and click Open in Help Center. Then that will open it as its own article. So Pricebook Digital, this is pretty unique. This allows you to get real-time pricing entered into your system from your suppliers. So if you purchase items from, a local supplier, we communicate with them and grab the pricing from them and put that into your system. So this would enrich your system with a full price book on the My Price Book page. You get pricing, descriptions, bundles, and AHRI matchups if you're selling systems. And you will also get preloaded assets as well, being proposals. So, proposals and proposal comparisons are added into your system as jobs. And so, if you're selling a split heat pump, you would have proposal options for that and comparisons. If you're selling a split gas electrical furnace, you would have options for that. And they will go to your supplier and ask what options, are you purchasing? And then they'll enter that into your system. So this is another big time saver. And if you are interested in this, if this seems like something you would want to get a price book and supplier information, you can just contact us by going to the Help Center and contact support. Just let them know you would like to sign up for or get a demo of the enhanced price books. There's also a video walkthrough here that tells you everything you need to know about this option. All right, cool. And just to give you a little idea, if we, signed up for enhanced price books, I would go to more applications, price book, my price book, and then you would see uh, a folder. So, if your supplier was called Barker, you'd have a Barker folder. I believe Wilson Supply. If you have, purchased from a place called Wilson Supply, you would see those in here and have items available for you to add to your proposals and invoices. And then you would type the word template in your customer search, and you would then see the different supplier templates. So Wilson Supply templates, Daikin Northeast templates. You can just click on the templates customer, and then your whole, all of the different templates would be seen as jobs. You could use the copy feature to then copy from those pre-built proposals and comparisons. And it's nice, it comes with pricing, pictures, good, better, best. The colors are all pre-selected, so saves you a ton of time. Yeah. I see the party emojis. So yeah, this is really nice, and it's all, that this is correct because it's actually curated by your supplier. Okay, next, let's go and talk about updating your pricing strategies. So, when you're building this, and we do cover this in our basics session, when you are setting up your price book, it's always good to set up your pricing strategies. And currently, I have my standard pricing. I have my maintenance plan price, which is going to be anytime a customer is a maintenance plan customer, it'll automatically apply this discount. And then we have three modifiers. I've got a friends and family discount, a military discount, and an after hours upcharge, which will charge 25% more than what I usually charge for the standard price. But the reason why we're here right now is another option, another idea that you could use for this page, which is credit card purchasing. So let's say that you are processing through WEX FSM. You have a certain percentage that is a processing fee. So as you are processing card information, that is going to have a cost. And if you're doing a lot, let's say you're doing a very large job, that processing fee is going to be large as well. And sometimes you don't want your customer to uh, pay with the card and not pay the processing fee. So, one way that you can add the processing fee to your invoice is by adding it as a pricing default. So I could, update this to say, card processing fee. And then maybe I know that my processing fee is 3%. So I'm going to add 3%. Then I'm doing a really big install. I make the proposal for it. It's a $40,000 job. Normally, we would tell them, we recommend that you pay with check. However, if you want to pay with a card, you can. There'll just be a 3% processing fee. Determine which payment method they're going to pay with. And then if they decide, yes, I do want to pay with a card, you will change the pricing strategy from, standard price, let's say, to the card processing fee. It will add 3% to all the items. And then, that is one way that you can just quickly add a processing fee to what you're charging. When you're done, make sure you hit save to save that as one of your modifiers. So that's kind of more of a pro tip. If that is something you're interested in, that is available in pricing strategies. All right. So we have two more sections we're going to do. We're going to look at some in the moment invoice options that you have, and then some job form settings we recommend just to make sure that everything is set. Your defaults are set to your preferences. Let's hop to an invoice. So I am on a job right now. We'll scroll down and we're going to hop onto a invoice. So let's click on that. And then One option is here. So if you are creating an invoice, you can click on pricing settings. And this is where you can quickly update the pricing strategy. So we just talked about that. You can show or hide the maintenance plan pricing. You can show or hide line item quantity and prices, and show or hide line item unit prices. If it's show, the customer will see it when you go to present mode. If it's hide, the customer won't see it when you go to present mode. So just some options for visibility and pricing here. Next, this is something that we've added new to the desktop version, which is multi-item select and selecting in the order you want them to be. So before, you'd have to go to add item, you would select one item and add it. When you selected it, it would just add it automatically. And then you have to go back in and add another item and go back in, add another. So it's a lot of clicks, opening the price book multiple times per item. Now you can select as many items as you want in the order you want them, and they will add to a queue. And then once you have everything you want, click add items. And now we've added this, we call it multi-item select, so you can add multiple items at a time and click on them in the order you want them to go. So now these are in the order that I selected them. Of course, the old school way still works. If you wanted to reorder these, you are able to click them down to recommendations and then add them back in the order that you would like to see them. So that is still an available option. Okay. And the last topic that we'll talk about is some job preferences. Let's go to settings, jobs, job preferences. And from here, you will be able to just update the preferences for job forms. Job forms are your proposals and invoices. And by default, you can either show or hide the following items: location name, model number, unit prices, maintenance plan savings, billing addresses, product numbers, and line item amounts and quantities. For example, I don't want my customers to see the model number of what I'm selling to them because then they're going to go online and search pricing and maybe be upset with the number that I gave them and not understand there's more involved than just what they see on a random website somewhere. So that's up to you. Whatever you set here as on or off will update the visibility when you are creating your job forms. Okay, so that is all the information we have for today's presentation. I hope that you learned something. We're going to move to our Q&A now, but before we do, I just want to say thank you so much for joining. My name is Mark with WEX Field Service Management, and this has been Pricebook Advanced.